A simple test that shows just how sexist films are, okay? And the test really is, in the film, do you have two women that are having a conversation that does not involve talking about a guy, okay? So that's the Bechdel test. Now, there's new research, because you may have heard of this test, but there's new research where a team of people have looked into it and seen just how widespread sexism is. So they looked at 4,000 films on the BechdelTest.com website, and what they found was overwhelming maleness. And they also looked into it and saw, okay, what happens if you add a female into the mix? Let's say there's a female writer or a producer. They said, quote, when writing teams are entirely male, about 50% of films fail the Bechdel test. Add a woman to the mix, and only a third of the films fail. The 7 films written entirely by women all passed the test. They also looked at Europe in comparison to here. Do our studios fail more often than they do? Yeah, they do. So, for instance, France has about 200 films in the data set, and 34% of them fail the Bechdel test. U.S. studios are a relative embarrassment. Warner Brothers, 53%. Columbia, 53% fail. And DreamWorks, 55% fail. Thoughts? 5 words or less.
What? No. I'm shocked.
My best friend's wedding failed?
Warner Brothers needs a sister. Yeah. Maybe then they would pass. So we've talked about this before. So did you think that this new research just made it even more a nail in the coffin?
You know, I think that lately Hollywood has made a concerted effort to, like, have more, at least female starring comedies where the women aren't just like, oh, what if I do lose a guy in 10 days? Like that kind of thing. I think that in this situation, but even when we talk about like how it boils down on like the Oscar stage, there's a lot more female roles. There's still, like, as we talked about last week, predominantly white female roles, and still not, you know, on the same volume as there are for like compelling male roles. But I think that Hollywood, with, you know, has taken the cues. The reboot of Ghostbusters is an all-female reboot.
Bridesmaids.
You know, Bridesmaids, really, and, you know, Tina Fey, Amy Poehler, just kind of listening to people who seem smart and just go like I don't know, whatever you want to make.
Yeah.
So I do think so.
What did you think?
I mean, I wasn't surprised, I guess, but I also think that this is a very nuanced test, and that's something for people to keep in mind, because there are going to be some, for example, Hunger Games is something that they use as an example for a movie that passes, but there are conversations that Katniss has about boys, you know, so like I think that we can't look at it like, is it girls talking about boys, or do they not talk about boys? Are they like rocket scientists? I think there can be a bit of both and still have the movie pass. It's just when a movie singularly, like, we were talking about the movie I Don't Know How She Does It with Sarah Jessica Parker. When that is the focus of a movie and like really making sure that a woman fits into those sexist roles, that sucks. But there's a way that we can have, you know, cheesy rom-coms are fun and we can have that, but we can also give women a little bit more credit. I think that that's kind of what it comes down to.
I think, I don't know.
We talk about more things. I rarely talk about my love for boys.
Yeah, I know. It's like you almost never do.
Almost, yeah. It's like it's not even there.
I Don't Know How She Does It is like a specific kind of failure because it's trying to be like, you know what? It's hard to be a woman in the workplace with a family and whatnot. And it just ends up being like, oh, so, hey, John and Tim, what are things women do?
Yeah.
Like, so she should probably break a heel at some point because that's the worst, you know, and have a baby and a job.
I think you could pretty much, if you could like redo the movie poster for I Don't Know How She Does It, could be like, quit your job, back to the kitchen. Like that would be like an accurate portrayal of what they're saying.
I don't know. I didn't end up seeing it, believe it or not. But
shocking. I wonder
it probably is the one. It's trying to be. I bet it's trying to be like, no, we should just respect women more, but like in the most misguided attempt to do so. Ever.
The most important tool is respect. Ha! Gay!
When this test came out, it's like, and got traction, a lot of movies you look back on and go like, oh my God, all they do is talk about boys.
I think the important thing to take note here, because I agree with you, it's not a flawless test by any means, but it does underscore the fact that the more women are involved, you know, instead of it being this all male team of producers or team of writers, the more that you have women involved, the more that you're going to have a more well-rounded narrative. And I think that's important. At least hopefully that's what this shows, and I hope that that's kind of where we continue to grow in this industry.
I was surprised at the Judd Apatow numbers. Like he fails less than most people do. And the big criticism of like Judd Apatow movies was like, this is just for dudes.
Yeah.
And that was something that came about after Knocked Up happened and the whole Katherine Heigl of it all. And it seems like at least there's been some reaction to that.
Yeah.
I mean, not every movie he comes out with is going to be like, you know, I mean, he might just say like, no, this is just for guys. And
that's okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's okay.
That's totally okay. And then there are going to be some movies that are really centered more towards women, and then some are just for dudes.
Yeah.
But I think that also working towards a happy medium, and then we can all live and love each other in peace.
We're going to end on that note. All right, you guys, please share your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe and check us out on watchable.com.